we want to see how we can answer these questions. So how can you answer these questions in an exam? If a question comes in an exam under this topic, how can you answer such a question? So the way you are going to answer the question, you know that these questions, it's a must, these questions will come. So you know that you want to find the coordinates of what? You will start by finding the coordinates of what? The coordinates of A. So how can you find the coordinate of A? You know that the way this one is, the way A is, have you seen? So the way A is, it is like this. The line is passing through here. This is the way the line is. Have you seen? And you know that this is the what? This is the y-axis. You know that that's the y-axis. Then you know that this is the what? This is the x-axis. So I remember telling you that in the y-axis, so these are points you need to know. In the y-axis, have you seen? In the y-axis, x is equal to 0. Have you seen? This is a point that you need to know and understand. So in the y-axis, x is equal to 0. Again, in the x-axis, just the opposite. In the x-axis, so in the x-axis, y is equal to what? Is equal to 0 like this. So whenever a coordinate is in this axis, get this. Whenever a coordinate is in the y-axis, is the y-axis. So whenever a coordinate is in this axis, just know that x is equal to 0. So finding a coordinate that is here, you know that in this coordinate, x is what? X is 0. So in the equation here, have you seen? You are going to get that equation. So you are going to say it is like this. Y is equal to x squared minus 4x plus what? Plus 3. This is the way it is. Then you know that x is what there? 0. So where there is x, put 0. So you put 0. You say, okay, y is equal to x is 0. So 0 squared minus 4 times 0 plus 3 like this. Where you're going to say y is equal to, this one will give you a 0. 0 plus 3, you're going to have a 3. So you're not supposed to use a calculator under here. So have you seen y is what? Y is 3. So you know that, okay, at this point, y is what? Y is 3. How do we get a coordinate? We say x, what? Y. Have you seen? So there you know that y is what? 3. So 3 is there. Have you seen? Then x is what? 0. So the coordinate that is at A, you just say, therefore, have you seen A? The coordinate at A is what? 0, y, which is 3. So this is the coordinate of what? The coordinate of A. This is how you need to answer it. You know, okay, here, y is what? Y is 3. Y is 3. This is the y, which is what? 3. Then x there, x is 0. As long as the coordinate is in the y-axis, then x is 0. So that is 0, what? 3. This is how we write a coordinate. We don't start with the y, where we set y 3, 0. No. We always start with the coordinate of x, then y. So if you write like this, then this is wrong. You are not supposed to do this. You always need to start with the coordinate of what? X. X is what? 0. Then y, it is y? 3 there. Y, it is 3. So have you seen the way I've answered this? This is how you are supposed to answer it. I move to these points. Have you seen the way these points are? These points are where? These points are in the what? X-axis. So you know, in the x-axis, y is what? 0. Y is 0. So these are the same. So y is what? 0, even there y is 0. So you get the same equation. You get the equation which is given. So you say, the equation is what? Y is equal to x squared minus 4x plus what? Plus 3. This is the way it is. Have you seen? Then you know that it is in the x-axis, where y is what? Y is 0. So here we put 0. 0 is equal to x squared minus 4x plus what? Plus 3. Like this. You do this. This is what you need to do. So after you do this, have you seen the way this one is? After you do this, so this is now the same as, this is the quadratic equation like this. Minus 4x plus 3, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 0. Have you seen? Then you solve this using what? Factorization method. So you always solve this using factorization method. So where you get to find what is your A? Your A is 1. What is your B? B is this one, -4. What is your C? Your C is 3, like this. This is what you need to do. Have you seen? Then you find the product. What is your product there? Product, to multiply A times C. This is how we find the product. So what is the product? 1 times 3, it is 3. Have you seen? It is what? 3. What is your sum? Check your sum. Your sum will just get B. So what is your sum? B is -4, like this. You look for factors now. Have you seen? So here, this is where the challenge is. So I would advise everyone to practice this. Let's make sure we look for numbers. This is where we put down thinking now. You begin to think now. So what are two numbers that you can add to get -4? And if you multiply those same numbers that you added, you need to get what? You need to get 3. Have you seen? So before I continue, so you can pause this video a bit. Pause it. Look for numbers. Begin to calculate numbers so that when you find, then you do what? You compare with my answers now. So look for numbers that you can multiply to get 3. If you add those same numbers, you get -4. This is part of your practice. So pause now. Look for those numbers. So hope we've gotten those numbers. So the numbers that you can add so that you get -4, then if you multiply them, you get 3. What are those numbers? -1 and -3. These are the two numbers. Have you seen? These are the what? Two numbers. Multiply these. -1 times -3. You're going to get +3. Add them. This is sum. Add them. -1 plus -3. You're going to get -4. Have you seen? So these are the what? These are the two numbers. These are the two numbers that we need to get. So we need to make sure that we get these two what? These two numbers. These are the two numbers which we need to get. So we need to make sure that we get these two what? These two numbers. So after you get this now, you check the equation. Have you seen? You remove this part here. Remove this. Remove this. Remove this. You remove that. So what are you going to remain with? You are going to remain with x squared then plus 3 here, which is equal to what? Equal to 0. So you put them in the middle here. This is -1. So you are going to say -x. You can't say -1 x. You say -x. Minus what? 3x. Like this. Then after you reach here, you group them in 2, 2, 2. You say these two, you do this. This is what you are going to do. Have you seen the way I'm doing this? This is how you are supposed to do it. So once you reach here now, you say, okay, you factorize here. Which one is common here? Which one is common? It is x. X is common. Have you seen? X is what? Common. So x like this. X into x squared, that is x. Such that if you multiply x times x, you get x squared. Minus x times x into x, it is 1. Like this. Minus. Which one is common here? A letter? No letter is common. Which number is common? It is 3. You do this. 3 into 3x. 3 cancelled. You're going to remain with x. Negative times positive. It is negative. Have you seen? Negative times positive. It is negative. Then 3 into 3, it is 1. Like this, you say equal to 0. Have you seen? So, like this, these two are the same. So, if these two are the same, you just get 1. X minus 3, like this. Then you say x plus 1. These two are the same, you get 1. Then these which are outside, x minus 3, you put them together. You say equal to 0. Then you are going to equate this one to 0. You are also going to equate that other one to what? To 0. So this one will say x, it will be x is equal to 0. That one, it comes inside, it's plus 3. So it means x is equal to what? X is equal to 3. We've got x3. X is equal to 0 plus 1. So x is equal to what? X is equal to 1. Have you seen our answers? X is 1 x is what? 3. You go back to the question. Okay. So, have you seen here we've got a 0. Numbers are increasing this side. So, we found 1 and what? 3. So, where 1 is here, then 3 is there. Have you seen? You cannot say that 3 is here, 1 is there. You are counting. Do we start with 3? No, we start with 1. So, 1 is here, 3 is where? There. This is how you need to do it. Have you seen? So, even the same applies here. If you've got numbers here, you find you've got, maybe if A is here, then B is there. Have you seen? Then you find answers to be -1 and -4. So which one are you going to start with? You're going to start with -1, then -4 is there. This is what you need to do. So let's get that concept. So B there, you know that Y there is what? 0. So B, it is what? You go there. B is what? B, what is your B? Your B is 3, X is 3, Y is 0. What is your C? I mean, B it's 1. Sorry about that. B is 1. B is 1 there. C is 3. So 3, 0. This is what you're going to do. So these are your what? These are your answers. So I said numbering very important. So with all these calculations, you just say, therefore, A is what? 0,3. B is what? 1,0. C is what? C is 3,0. These are your answers. Have you seen? You number them. This was question A. This is how you are supposed to answer this. This is 3,0. This is how you need to answer these questions. Have you seen the way I'm answering these questions? This is the way that you needed to answer these questions. This is the way that you needed to answer these questions. So this is how you were supposed to answer these ones. Have you seen? This is how you were supposed to answer these questions. This is how you need to answer them. You move to this one. Maximum value of y. Have you seen? Find the maximum value of what? Y. So you want to find the maximum value of y. How can you find the maximum value of y under this graph? I mean minimum. Find the minimum. So if a graph is like this, have you seen the way the graph is? If a graph is like this, the minimum is here. Have you seen? Here we've got what? X and y. And this thing here is called the turning point. Have you seen? So you find the turning point. After finding the turning point, then you just get the value of y. That is your what? Your minimum value. So even when a graph is like this, let's say your graph is something like this. Have you seen? So the coordinate that is there on top, the last coordinate there, it is called the maximum value. We use the same formula, the maximum value. So how do we find the maximum value? The same thing. Here we've got x and what? Y. This is called the turning point. Have you seen? So on the turning point, you just get this one. So this is the what? The value of y, which is the maximum. So if a graph is in this manner, just know that you'll be told to find the maximum value of y. If a graph is like this, the way this one came, just know that you will be told to find the what? The minimum, because this is the last point. But this is the point which is on top. Have you seen the way this one is? So this, you want to answer this. How can you answer this one now? How can you find the minimum value of y? So you find the turning point. So you get the equation the way it is. Y is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 3. Have you seen? So the first thing you need to do is to find the turning point. So if a value was given there, let's say you add the value there at p, then find the value of p. Any coordinate that is here is called the turning point. Even here it is called the what? The turning point. So we find the turning point here. So x is like this. How do we find x? Negative b over 2a. Have you seen? Where we know what is our a? 1. What is our b? Negative 4. What is our c? 3, like this. So turning point is equals to negative b, negative so over 2 times 1. which is equal to, a is 1. So 4 over 2, which is equal to 2. So x is what? 2. So since x is 2, we get this same equation. Then where there is 2, where there is x, we put 2. So y is equal to, like this. This is what you're going to do. Y is equal to, so you say x is what? 2. 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 3. Like this. This is equal to, this is 4 minus 8 plus 3. So when you evaluate this, 4 minus 8, negative 4 plus 3. So y is equal to negative 1. This is your answer. So the turning point is equal to what? What is the turning point? X was 2. Y was negative 1. Have you seen like this? This is the way it is. So now you get the coordinate of y here. So whether the question was saying find the maximum, find the minimum, these are the processes that you need to do. If the question was saying find the turning point, you just need to get this one. But the question was saying find the minimum, so we get y here. Y. So just say therefore minimum value is what? Minimum value of y is what? Is negative 1. So these are your answers. This is how you need to answer this one. Have you seen the way I've answered it? This is how you need to answer it. You need to answer it in this way.